How to light your YouTube video spending as little money as possible. So the lighting for your video is really important. So the first thing would be the audio, then the lighting, and after you have good lights and good audio, maybe think about upgrading your camera. But when you're just getting started, I want you to be able to start creating content for YouTube with spending as little money as possible. So this is a $20 lav mic, and the lights that we're using right now are around $50. If you saw my video from, I think it was about a year ago, on the $100 YouTube studio setup, you could easily use those lights that cost around $45. The thing is, we're gonna walk through how you can use cheap lights or the lights you have around your house and have great looking videos. So the first concept I want to talk about today is the size of the light source. So if you just use the flashlight from your phone, you're going to see this light source that is this small, and that on your face is really strong here, and you're going to see shadows on the other side of your face. Something like that is not going to work well if you can be in front of a huge window, not with direct sunlight on you, but light coming in from the window. You're going to see that that looks really good. So the larger the light source, the better. And so what I'm using right now are these newer lights that are about this big, but if you stick around till later on in the video, we're going to show you how you can use a small light source like these newer lights and have great looking videos. So the next concept is the position of the lights. So right now I have two lights, one on each side of me. So usually they're referred to as the key light, the main light source, and the fill light that fills in some of the shadows. But the important thing here is to understand, depending on where the light source is, it can totally change the look of your video. So if you have a light behind you, to expose for that bright light behind you, your face is going to be really dark, or if you expose correctly for your face, you're going to see something super bright behind you. Or if you see a light directly overhead, you'll see shadows under your eyes, under your chin. And so this is something you would see maybe in an interrogation or in a movie.
As you can see, we've had our eye on you for some time now, Mr. Anderson.
That's really intense with the light directly overhead. The next thing would be a light directly to one side. So again, you're gonna see light along that side of the face and then a complete shadow on the other side of the face. For certain scenarios that could work, but general YouTube videos, talking head videos like I'm recording right now, not the best look. So generally what we end up doing is having a light kind of off to 45 degrees is where the key light is, and the fill light kind of the same on the other side. Another way you sometimes see videos lit is with, say, a ring light or something that's right around or behind the camera. The thing is, with a light directly in front of you, what you're gonna see is your face is gonna look very flat. There's no shadows, there's no contrast. So you'll see that for beauty blogging or something like that, where you don't wanna see shadows or anything. But for that look, it works, but for general YouTube videos, I would say not the best look. How we generally light our videos with a key light and a fill light, we have both of them kind of at 45 degree angles to the side, and then maybe 45 or so degree angles up as well. And so you'll see with the main key light, you'll see some shadows on one side of the face. Sometimes we only use that light, other times we have a fill light that fills it in, or what you could use is something to reflect from. You have the key light over here and you have something to reflect on this side that kind of fills in those shadows a little bit, but just be conscious of where the light source is to make sure your videos are lit well. So the next concept to understand is the temperature of the light. So if you ever heard someone talk about white balance, that's essentially the temperature of the light, which is referred to in a scale of Kelvin. So it could be somewhere around 3,000 all the way up to 6, 7, 8,000 Kelvin. The higher the number, I would say, whiter or bluer the light versus something like tungsten, which is around 3,000. So the general lights that we use for our videos are daylight, which is around 5,000 to 5,600. But as you see, a lot of the lamps around your home may be much lower and much more yellow. So if we turn on the overhead light right now, so you see somewhat of a contrast when you're using different color temperatures. So what we like to do is have kind of all daylight lights, so everything looks the same. But maybe for a background light, you could use something that's color, if it's pink or blue or red or whatever it happens to be. But whenever you can, try not to mix and match different whites. So you're just getting started on YouTube. Well, I don't want you to create your channel and do it all alone. I would much rather have you be part of our new course for YouTube beginners. It's 4 weeks long. We'll help you set up your channel, come up with video ideas, record the videos, edit the videos, publish the videos, and start growing on YouTube. So there's recorded content, there's live sessions where you can ask questions and get feedback. So if you're interested in learning more, check out the link in the description below. So as I said, I was going to show you how you can use small lights but not have it look so harsh like when you see using the flashlight of your phone. So the first concept I want to teach you about is reflecting light. So right now I have the two lights reflecting against a white wall. So instead of having a light source that's this big, it's probably this big around reflecting on the wall on each side of me, and then each one kind of lights up each side of my face. So if you have a small light source and have something white, it could be a white wall, or if you could hang up a white sheet, a big white piece of paper, whatever it is, think of how you can use a small light reflected off of something white and have a much bigger, softer light source and a much better looking video. So the next way to get a larger light source and a softer light is through diffusion. So that's essentially passing light through something. So our big aperture lights, the biggest one has actually two semi-transparent cloths that the strong light is going through. So it goes from a light that's like this big around through two different things that diffuse it, that makes the light much, much softer. And the light source is something like this size for our aperture lights. And so if you can find a way, this is a little bit more complicated or difficult to do because you need something kind of up, like over wherever you're recording. So a couple feet or a couple meters. So this could be a sheet or anything that's semi-transparent, where you can take a little light, pass the light through, say, the sheet, and have a bigger, softer light source. So the white wall is an easier way to do it, but if you can hang something up and pass light through it, that's another phenomenal way to increase the size of the light and have a softer light. So when I mentioned earlier on in the video how I use the paper lantern lights, so you have just this cord with a light bulb in it that's, really, really harsh as far as the light source is, but when you have a big paper lantern, that the light has to pass through. So you go from this big of a light source to this big of a light source, and it's a much softer light. And actually, the very first videos on this channel, we have one that I think has almost 400,000 views. So now that you know how to light your videos, you don't need to make any other investments, just use the cell phone you have. And guess what? We have a video that walks you through step-by-step how to record amazing YouTube videos with just your phone. You can check out that video right here. Hope to see you in another video. Bye-bye.